Hi, I'm Amy, an accountability coach with the Fit Mother Project. I am joined today by 3 amazing members from our sisterhood. They are here today to share their experience attending the Fit Mother Retreat. Let's start with some quick introductions, and then we can let them each share what motivated them to sign up, as well as how it has helped them in their Fit Mother journey. Quenna, let's start with you.
Hello, I'm Quenna Mala. I'm 54 years old, and I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Hi, I'm Pollie Rodrigue. I am 54 years old also, and I am from Pennsylvania.
Hello, I'm Susan Rowland. I'm 57, so I'm the old one of the group, and I'm from Grand Island, Nebraska.
Thank you, ladies. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into why did you sign up for the Fit Mother Retreat? What motivated you? This was the first retreat. So let's go with Pollie. Let's start with you.
Okay. Well, to be quite honest, I'm going to have to talk about Quenna right off the bat because we were friends on the Fit Mother Alpha Facebook page, and we were commenting on each other. And then I saw one day that she said she was signed up for the retreat. And I was like, oh my goodness, she is? Like, wow, maybe I should do that. So I have to credit her with giving me the idea. And then I guess I was looking for adventure. And I was also looking to really deepen my connection with the Fit Mother program. You know, I already decided that I love the Fit Mother Project. And I thought, why not make this virtual experience go live? And so that's what happened.
Yeah, that's, you said it, hit the nail on the head also, which was exciting for me, is that this program, Fit Mother, is a virtual program. So in order to make it feel so real, you know, doing the retreat, that was like, yes, I get to meet all these people now. Yes. So, wow, thanks. Anything else you want to share, Pollie, or
about why I wanted to do this? Well, I also, personally, I have an empty nest. So it was time for me to try new things and to really indulge myself, maybe in a treat. So this was a big treat. It wasn't a spa vacation, but it was an adventure vacation with the interest of being healthy and meeting up with my like-minded health friends. So I just considered this to be an investment in my health and fun.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
So that's why I did it. I have lots to talk about what happened once we were there. I mean, there was a lot of nervousness, you know, like, oh my gosh, what am I packing? What are we doing on this trip? You know, so we can get to that, hopefully.
Yeah, of course. Susan, why don't you share?
Well, I had some hesitation at first. Sometimes it's hard to put me ahead of my family, ahead of other people around me. So for me to take off and go on a vacation by myself without family, or it was difficult for me. My husband encouraged me to do this, to just do it for myself. And I'm very, very happy that I did. It was something that I will never forget. So much learning happened, and a lot of inner growth, I think. But yeah, it was just very cool.
And what was your hesitation? I mean, you know, you did state that it's just you typically don't do this, but was there anything else?
I mean, I was a bit concerned as far as what we might be doing, or I like to have things kind of laid out in front of me so that I can mentally work through first what's going to happen. So going into it, I didn't really have an idea of maybe what was going to be happening. So that was outside my box. But that was a good thing for me to just experience things as they were happening, being able to take the time to be present in the moment for whatever was going on instead of trying to worry about the next thing or figure out if everybody was happy about something or if there was anxiety in the group. You know, it was just mentally relaxing for me to just have a break, I guess.
Good. Now, Quenna.
Yeah, so
now it's you.
Yeah, well, whenever I got the email, or I can't remember if it was an email or if it was like a post or something that in our Facebook group, that the retreat was happening. You know, there was a part of me, see, in Fit Other Project, the whole thing that we've been through, this was something that was out of my comfort zone. It was something that I wasn't sure that I could do. Well, by this time that I saw that the retreat was happening and it was the first one, all I could think about was, oh my gosh, I've got to be around the people that, you know, that brought this to me that I thought I could never do. Because, you know, I had been told that I couldn't lose weight in menopause. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this. I tried stuff on my own. I had pain from head to toe. And this whole program had showed me that, you know, you can do something different. You can be free of pain. You can lose weight in menopause. You can eat right. You can, you know, do this without missing out on all this other stuff. So whenever I saw that there was a retreat that I could actually go and be in person with not only Dr. A and you, Coach Amy, but also around like-minded individuals that were experiencing the same thing that I was experiencing. And so whenever I saw it, you know, the first thing was, you know, the expense and all of that. Well, when I shared this with Russ, my husband, he said, I mean, there was no hesitation with him. He said, you got to go, because he knew, he had witnessed what I had been going through, you know, and had seen the tremendous success. Already my whole it's not just my health journey, it's also the whole mental aspect of it as well. And he said, you have to go, Quenna, you have to go. And then, you know, he was so excited because he worked out a way to where he could join me at the end of the retreat. And we extended the stay, you know, a few days. But that, you know, I was so excited. Now, this was something that was going to take me totally out of my comfort zone because I didn't know what to expect. I'm not one to do vacations or anything outside of, you know, being with my husband and my family and all that. So I had you know, if there was any hesitation, it was that. I don't know if it was a hesitation or just a concern or my anxieties or what, but I was so thrilled at the opportunity to even be able to do it. So I was very excited, but at the same time, you know, just kind of the fear of the unknown and totally get me out of the box, which is, you know, it's uncomfortable, but that's a great thing. So I was thrilled to death.
Yes, it is uncomfortable it's uncomfortable to be uncomfortable, or I forget how the saying goes, but you know, it's okay to be uncomfortable, you know, because that's many times when our growth actually happens. So we are so glad. So anyhow, ladies, now I'd love for you guys to talk a little bit about the fact that everything was kept kind of hush-hush. We weren't saying anything, you know, and then to find out you get there and you get to this retreat and you first meet all the members, you know, we had a Zoom and, you know, but not everybody could attend, but then you start meeting all the members. So explain to me more about the experience. Let's just talk about, like, you know, the first day experience and what that was like. So let's start with Susan, start with you, you know, like just share a little bit more about just the whole experience.
Well, you know, got to the airport and, you know, there was already your face greeting me to pick up my bag, and that was pretty cool. Then just start running into all the other members there. And I was like, hey, I recognize you, you know, and it was just to have physical, you know, touch with, you know, be able to be with people. And so that was really cool. And, you know, we all had kind of the same jitters, but just excitement. It just, you know, and then I thought it was so cool. You had like little snacks, healthy snacks for us and drinks, and just felt very welcoming. And yeah, just couldn't wait to get to have everybody gathered so we could go to the next phase.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
It's funny you say,
and then the trip,
I was going to say, it's funny you say about the jitters. You know, even though I talked with all of you. I've also been on journey with all of you guys as well. My own journey. I had jitters. I couldn't sleep the night before. That morning I was up early and just in a panic, like, okay, wait, is everybody got their, do I have all the information? Do I have this? Do I have that? Making sure that I was right where I needed to be. And then, meeting everybody for me was just so nice. And, it was just like, oh, okay. Well, this is great. I'm, each person, it just got easier and easier. So anyhow, thank you. But yeah, it was nerve-wracking too. So Pollie, why don't you just share a little bit about just the first couple?
Sure, I have to agree. I guess the night before did not sleep very much really at all. And then got off the plane, and immediately when we got together, I think a lot of us had jitters, so we decided to start walking. We needed to get our steps in, and we started looping around. Susan, I think you were a part of this. We were looping around.
Yeah.
And I remember my soon-to-be roommate, but I didn't know at the time, she was talking about all of her hiking adventures in Colorado, and I was getting really intimidated, like, oh my gosh, this woman really knows what she's doing. And then lo and behold, I was assigned to be her roommate, which was pretty cool, actually. The other thing I will say that was really surprising to me, because we were not told this, was that after that 2 hours of walking around the airport, then we were loaded into vans. And guess who was driving the van? Dr. A. Like, that was jaw-dropping. I had no idea that he was going to be there to, and taking us, like, acting so calm and so confident and low key. And then, oh yeah, I'm driving, 8 women up to Sedona, it just was, I was like, really, this is really happening? I kept asking myself, wow, it was great.
Yeah. He kind of makes an appearance, Dr. A just pops up when he needs to. So Quenna, why don't you go ahead?
Well, I think I was the last one that was arriving that day. So a lot of y'all had, gone back. And, but it was so sweet because, y'all were saying, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to spend the night there in Phoenix or whatever. We'll have somebody that's there to pick you up and all of that. So, and I had a delay and all that flight. So, that just added to the nervousness or whatever. But as soon as I landed and I found my group, I had Jen, and then Craig was driving, and, a couple of the other ladies, were there. It was like, immediately whenever I saw the group, my nerves just totally went away. It was like, I'm with family here. It just felt like family. And from that point on, well, I was nervous about who am I going to be rooming with, what's that going to be like? And that, I know we may get into that later, but that couldn't have been any better. And so really as soon as I landed and I got with the group, from that point on, every conversation, everything that we did, it just felt like home. It seriously felt like sisters. And I'm not one to do like girl trips or anything like that, but I'm serious. It was awesome. And it started at the very beginning. So it was amazing for me.
Yeah. Awesome. So, one thing I wanted to ask, and it's just come to mind, is that, you all are have been with Fit Mother for over a year now, I think, if not over 2 years. Correct? Susan, yeah, you were over a year.
It'll be 2 years in January.
And Pollie, you're about 3 years?
2 3/4 years.
And Quenna,
we're about the same, right? Quenna and I.
Yeah, it's 2 years and about 3 months or so.
So I know there were other women on the retreat. There was 12 of us that hadn't been. Did you feel like you needed to have the background of being so far into your journey? Or do you feel like, these other women that joined that may have not started their journeys or whatever, that it was still a good environment for everybody? I mean, it wasn't set up to be that you have to be in your best physical condition or anything like that. I mean, I'm just curious. I'd love to hear your feedback on that. Let's see. Quenna, why don't you start?
Yeah. So what I felt like, as far as the different levels of history or their experience with Fit Mother Project, I felt like it was really a great place for that variety, because everything was based on what the person could do. There wasn't anything that made me feel, and like the people that were there that had not been with Fit Mother for a long time, I felt like it was very comfortable for them as well. It was challenging for people that had been there. I mean, we all were challenged, no matter what level of, no matter what level where we were at, or how long we'd been with the program or whatever. I felt like the format of the retreat and all the activities were based on your specific level of experience, I guess. And then
I guess,
is that what you mean?
You're kind of saying kind of like what the Fit Mother Project is. It's your own journey, so you make it what you want it to be. If you want it to be challenging, I know for Susan, you made it more challenging for yourself.
Yeah.
On the hikes.
Yeah, lots of things where I just told myself.
You wanted to go into it, explain a little bit about how you made it more challenging for yourself.
I've always wanted to hike in Nebraska. It's, where we live in the middle of the state is pretty flat. We probably have a good 6-hour trip to get really anywhere that you would consider to be mountainous or hiking. So it just doesn't really happen. Although since Sedona, I have gone on a lot of flat trips to hike because I have an addiction now. And it's still, I'm still going to get some more mountains in. But I mean, that was one of my goals, was just to hike. And I was shocked at physically how good I was. I mean, just as far as the endurance and physical part of it, it was a blast. I loved it. That was probably one of my most favorite things, was definitely tackling the hikes and challenging, and only put my hand in a cactus once, so that was good.
But I think you also challenged yourself, didn't you, by running the hikes with Dr. A?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I was just, the adrenaline was going, man. And I had several times where I was just like, I gotta go. And I just would take off running, more like jogging probably. But yeah, I loved that. I love to be able to do that too. And there was a few that, kind of ran with me for a while. And I don't know, it was just, for me, I have a spiritual God connection with nature. So that was just very cool for me to be able to just be out in nature and just feel awesome at whatever I was doing.
Yeah, great. And Pollie, why don't you share a little bit of, your experiences just getting started, and, just a little bit more?
Sure. I guess I'll just talk about the hike was the pinnacle part of the trip. I mean, it was just so great to bond with everyone going on these hikes. And I will say, thanks to Susan, she would start us off with a blessing, a prayer for us to have a great time together. And, the camaraderie on the trail going up, it was a 2-hour journey up, on day one. And then I surprised myself because we got up so high and I was like, we can't go any higher. And then people are scampering right by me and they're going up higher on this subway hike. And then we turn around and there's Dr. A with no shoes on at the very tippy top. And then Susan saying, I'm going to go up there too. And I'm like, seriously, people? So, Quenna, you were probably up there too. I was just like, wow, people are really courageous, And I just had to come a little bit to terms that that wasn't going to be me, but that I was happy for them. And I was happy with where I was. I was at a great place to view everything. And I felt I had challenged myself. And I was having some snacks that were Fit Mother provided and some water and really enjoying it. And I felt like I had a tremendous day, another 2 hours down.
Yeah.
So,
but it's like I just said, it's like, you did what your journey is, and Susan did what she wanted to push herself. You pushed yourself to the point where you felt comfortable, and that's what, and that's what even Fit Mother is,
And furthermore, if I may, I learned from that hike that I was probably not wearing the right footwear for the hike. So then I was able to touch base with my roommate, who is a professional hiker. And I texted her after the trip and I was like, what kind of shoes do you have? So then here's my little visual. I ended up getting these shoes with a Vibram component in them. And so learning from each other, supporting each other, that's so much what this journey was about.
I was just going to say, it's not necessary.
Disclaimer, not necessary to have that. But I don't recommend the boots that I was wearing.
It's not necessary to have the shoes, just because I thought you had a hikers on, but it's not necessary to go out and for any of joining the retreat. You do not need to have special equipment. It's we don't encourage, we don't say you have to go out and now buy hiking shoes or anything like that, because as we all know what Dr. A wears when he hikes. So so even sneakers are fine. So many had just sneakers on, and that seemed to work well. But I think because Pollie, you went out and purchased these shoes, you found that, and I'm sure you've hiked before being on the East Coast, that's what is going to help you to continue enjoying your hiking, further. So you found a passion of hiking again when you were on the retreat. Thus, you went out and purchased new shoes. I'm sure, Susan, now that you enjoy hiking, you probably have different shoes than maybe the shoes that you wore when you were on the retreat, because now it's a passion for you. So, I just want a disclaimer. You don't need to purchase these shoes. Just to go
did I
on
just
this
step in
retreat.
it? Haha, that was supposed to be a joke.
Yeah. Good.
I had hiking boots already because I was a wannabe hiker. So I actually had hiking boots that I just would wear in the wintertime because they're kind of necessary here. So I used boots that I had tromped around in the mud and snow for a couple winters, and they worked just fine. But
Okay.
yeah,
Great. And Quenna, I think you just use sneakers, correct, for the hiking?
No, I had hiking shoes that I already had.
Okay.
But I was not an experienced hiker at all. And so what I loved about the hikes is how we all helped each other, and we would, there were a couple of times that I was like seriously, I had some anxieties of, going down and going up, but making it and realizing as a team, we did it together. In those times that I was real anxious, I had Susan was with me a lot of the time during the hike and everything. And, then there were others too, whenever we were coming down, when she went off on her jog, and running and stuff with that adrenaline, I had adrenaline too. And it was just like, basically I was trusting my shoes. Seriously, learn to trust your shoes. And man, it just being able to make it through some of those anxieties, because that hiking is not on our, it's not in our workout plan, right? So just because I had been with Fit Mother for 2 years, it did. I was amazed and very pleased at how in shape I was. But as far as still some of the height things, the climbing things, but mainly coming down, I was so proud of myself, and then also how we all, kind of pitched in together to help each other through those little thing, those little times that we had those anxieties. It's like, okay, I'm not doing this by myself. This is awesome.
Yep. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the food. So, who would like to share about the food and
I mean, I can start with this. That was one of my one of my favorite things about the trip. The foods were so interesting. They were so abundant and plentiful, fruits and vegetables. And I did hear them saying it's very digestible. And I tend to have some stomach issues. And, so I just had no stomach issues at all. I was eating as much as I possibly could at every meal. I particularly love those little eggs. I forget, quail eggs, the quail eggs in the einkorn bread. Like, that was so great. And that's an ancient grain. Like, it was all on program as far as this is going to be holistic food for us to nourish us, visually and nutritionally. It was so good.
Hey, it's Dr. Ray. I want to quickly pause this episode to thank you so much for listening to this Fit Mother Project podcast. I am just blown away at how amazing this podcast has become, all the powerful stories, all the great expert interviews, and I am so grateful for you for tuning in and being here with everything we're creating here at the Fit Mother Project. And I just wanted to pause to acknowledge you and thank you again for listening. Please keep listening and tuning in to all the great stuff we're doing here at the FMP. Let's get back to today's episode.
So, we didn't start the day with our protein shakes like we're told to. So, that's kind of stepping outside the box from
and it was early. We weren't fasting until,
we weren't doing intermittent fasting or anything like that. So following the plan is kind of like out the window because you're still on plan because you're eating all natural earthbound foods and stuff like that. That's, very organic and stuff, but very good for you as far as, yes, Pollie, the digestion and stuff like that. So, Susan, what did you think of the food?
I thought the food was great. I made myself try everything. There's some foods I don't have a love for fish or seafood or salmon. So I saw that the one night and I'm like, we got a problem here. But I tried it and, I ate it. It was fine. But overall, the food was great. I think one of my memories was Dr. A when we had some great desserts too, by the way. We had some whipped cream.
Oh, yeah.
Little shaker cans. And we had amazing chefs and they were like, somebody said, oh, we're out of whipped cream. And she goes, oh, no, you can't be. There's 2 cans. There must be one underneath. And, and in Doctor's A depends, he wasn't aware how much was in a can, but I was sitting next to him and his plate was full of whipped cream. And to me, that was just like, I loved it because it just made it more real, I think it was just fun.
I was the one that missed out on that whipped cream. So they had to whip
Oh, sorry.
They made more. So I was like, Dr. A, really? Grateful. So, yeah. And what about you, Quenna? Food?
Well, I loved it. I made myself try everything as well. One of the things I think before I went, my family said, we would love to be a fly on the wall and watch you. Because I know, I'm pretty much a picky eater. And I've got my little system of what I do. Smoothies in the morning, have my lunch, do my snack, do, my perfect plate in the evening. And they said, I wonder if you're going to be starving or if you're going to be full, and I said, I don't know what kind of food, if it's stuff that I don't like, am I going to be starving the whole time or what? I'm telling you what, I was so full the entire time. And then knowing that it was good food, but it was, we were kind of not on schedule and all of that, but the food that was going in our bodies, then it was wonderful food. And like trying the kiwi with the skin on it. I loved it.
Right.
Like, I thought that's crazy that we could do that. I'd never even heard of that. But, just different things like that. So it was really, really, really cool. And having the drinks, all the, around the clock for us, and being able to go up there and just get water and coffee, and then the snacks that we had and healthy food, that was amazing. And the chefs, I mean, my goodness, they were so delightful to be around and so educational, and how they would inform us of everything we were about to eat. So that was really neat. That was neat.
Great. Thank you, ladies. Yeah, I'm excited to see them again. So now let's talk a little bit about the experiences. So we did a meditation, we did yoga, and we did a breathing exercise, as well as a wonderful Jeep tour. So let's just, talk about how you felt with those, whether that they have, besides the Jeep tour, the meditation or the yoga or the breathing, has now become a new habit for you, or something that maybe you've incorporated in your own personal Fit Mother journey. So let's start with Quenna. Why don't you?
Yeah, so I was most looking forward to the breathing, and I missed it because my flight was, so late. But I really enjoyed, like, on the course, that we have in our back office, or whatever you call it, our system,
Our program, yeah.
program, of the computer. And I really, really enjoyed the breathing course. And so I was looking forward to that. And I, since we didn't know what the agenda was, I didn't know it was going to be on that first night. And so it was so sweet, because whenever I got there and I missed it, and that I was going, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And, Dr. A just came and hugged me, real big, and said, I'm so sorry, and all that. But I hated to miss that, because I think that was a good one. The yoga, I love doing yoga. I'll do it like once or twice a week. So it was good. The having it incorporated with, with what we were doing. Meditation is something that I've done for a while. I enjoyed being outside. I enjoyed being there in the, doing that, and being with everyone, and being outside, being in the, where we were, and all of that. I thought that was really good. I think that it's good for the people to, or for the attendees to be able to experience those different things, and to understand, within their comfort zone, and what they can do. And then if it's not in their comfort zone, that they don't have to do that, But for me, it was good. And I've incorporated, more of the meditation and everything. I definitely am, given, that's helped me a lot in my everyday life to be able to do that. So I thought it was good.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Polly?
For me, I really enjoyed these more, I guess, calm, like parasympathetic stimulating activities mixed in with all of the workouts and the hike. It was great because, I need my downtime. So this was like packaged in the sequence, in the schedule, to kind of relax and be centered, I guess. So I loved these things. I especially loved, I guess I have to say, like, I love the breathing, but my favorite was the meditation with Melissa at the stupa. Even though I do meditation a lot, or maybe because I do meditation a lot, I really enjoyed her leading us and showing us all the different techniques that can be used in meditation. And I have felt like it has helped me even evolve a little bit further, now that I'm back at home. I have a greater comfort level with listening to other people tell me how to meditate now, and understanding what the backbone is, because Melissa taught us this in Sedona at the Vortex, which is the Vortex of Sedona. Apparently, like, you'll learn about that if you go.
That's right.
I love yoga. I enjoyed doing that with everyone. It was a great bonding, experience to be all in there and start off a day that way. I have to add journaling to the mix too. We have our,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
that was another thing to take advantage of. So Yeah, I just felt like these habits were given to us in the retreat so that we can understand how to incorporate them into our lives when we got home. So I really appreciate that. I feel so totally cared for by Fit Mother Project in this. You know, it's not just about the workouts and nutrition. It's all about all these other things too. So really appreciated that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that was great. How about you, Susan? Thanks, Polly.
Yeah, meditation was new for me, and yoga I had only done once before, and that was several years prior. And I was surprised at how easy it was as far as stretching and being able to do some of the things. I have done meditation since then a few times, so that's kind of cool. I think my favorite thing, and you did not mention, and it wasn't scheduled for everybody, but Quenna and I did a cold plunge into the swimming pool that was, I think the water was 40 degrees and it was like 45 or 48 outside. So that was very different.
I forgot. Well, because I didn't participate, I forgot about the cold plunge. That was good.
That was awesome.
Yeah. I thought maybe
Yeah.
there'd be a few more participating, and I kind of told Quenna everybody was, but I guess not. Okay, we survived.
Sorry, that's how she got you hooked.
And then there we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you a secret. We are incorporating cold plunge into the next one. Actually, there will be a cold plunge tub there, 2 possibly, to keep it at 32 degrees. Because if a lot of people go in, then, you know, the water temperature will start warming up. So we'll be adding ice bags to that to help keep it cold. But I'm excited because I'm definitely going to do it now because I do enjoy the cold plunge. Just wasn't ready to do it at the retreat first time. So
And
glad you did.
I guess I would say maybe have a timer, because Dr. A got distracted and let us
Good
be in there. I don't know how long. It felt like way long,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I apologize. It's okay.
I think it's like 3 minutes you're supposed to be in there, I think. So yeah. Oh, well, anyhow, well, that's cool. So what about how did you guys like the Jeep tour? I mean, was that a fun way to see Sedona? I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that I'd never been on anything like that before. So I didn't know what to expect, except I'm all about just going for it. So I was concerned that I was going to freeze to death, which I did not. I was okay. And yeah, just being able to see things from a different view, versus, just all the beauty that was there and seeing it from a distance, but yet also being up close to everything. And then just having all the new sisters and friends in the same Jeep with you, bouncing around and telling stories. And yeah, it was great fun.
Good. Oh, I know one area that we really haven't touched on, and that is the retreat center itself. Retreat, he did the fireside. So let's see, Polly, why don't you share a little bit about the retreat center? So you start us off, and, because we are going back to the same retreat center, and, just share what your experience is there.
Sure. I think the name of it is Ancient Springs, and it's really hard to find. It's like on a really remote road, and it's like, where do we turn? Oh, yes, down here. Really? Wow. This is so out in the no man's land, but it is a modest, beautiful space with some really nice cabins. The cabins are, I would say, so cleverly built. They don't feel lavish at all, but they're so comfortable. And everywhere you turn, there's something that you need, a hook or really nice bedding, very comfortable space. Let's see, what else about the retreat center? Well, there's the grounds, the beautiful grounds, and are there goats? I don't know. And then there was a fabulous fire pit. And I would have to say the highlight for me was at night with all the stars at night that came out. And if I can just get into this, we had some time by the fire with Dr. A, and it was formal. And then the next night we had some time by the fire, and it was really casual and silly and fun. And one of our campmates named Joy, she was telling us about a bear constellation in the sky. And she had this whole funny, hilarious story about the bear in the sky. And I still think about that when I go out on my patio and look up at the stars. Like, I'll lie down on my Sedona blanket by my pool and look up at the sky and think about the bear and the night by the fire. Yeah.
That's cool. How about you, Quenna? A little bit about the grounds and just the experiences there.
You know, I just keep on thinking about how my family was teasing me before I left. And they said, you know, because, you know, in the packet, it talked about that it's not like a 5-star resort or anything, you know. And they were going, Mom, you're going to, you know, there's no telling what it's going to be like for you. And the thing is Pollie's right. I mean, it's so warm. It's so cozy. It's so homey. There's something, you know, even though Susan and I, and Pollie too, or, you know, how we would have to walk across the sidewalk to get to the bathroom and all of that. You know, whenever I first saw it and I walked in the room, you know, first of all, I had to meet Susan because, you know, and that's who I was going to be rooming with. Then I walked in there and I was going, there's the sink. Where's the toilet? I mean, like, and I thought my family would be dying right now. And, but seriously, the bed, so comfy. It was so awesome. And then the you know, walking across, you know, what seemed to be at the beginning, okay, this is going to be an inconvenience. It wasn't at all. It wasn't at all. But the grounds itself, you know, going up to the cafe where we ate, where we worked out, the pool, all of that, you know, it was wonderful. I remember the first night, and Joy and I went down, and because she had been in the van with me, like she was the one that stayed back with me while I was at the airport. And so when we got there, y'all were in the breathing session, and we went outside, and I could not believe the stars. How beautiful. I mean, it was just gorgeous. And then being around the fire side, the fire pit, and us, you know, having those intimate things, you know, like where we were sharing things, and it was like that safe space where we could do that. And then, you know, having those times where we laughed so hard. Seriously, I had tears coming. And, you know, it was amazing. And then the pond, you know, being around the pond, able to walk the facility, I thought it was beautiful. I really did. Like I would go back in a heartbeat. I loved it.
Cool. Yeah. How about you, Susan?
Yeah, I thought the grounds were really beautiful. Let's see, I think it was the last day we were there, and I just kind of spent some time by myself walking out there, and there's a lot back there, lots of little trails, and there's a creek that runs through there, and the goats were out, and they were kind of like talking to me, and it's this pretty grounds. And see, I think the water there is like from a natural spring, if I remember right. So I know they were bringing the water in for us and basically just filtering it a small amount to, you know, remove impurities, but it was great water. And maybe that's what gave me the kick on the mountain. I don't know. Yeah, I thought the grounds were great. And another cool thing, we found out later that the groundkeepers actually are the ones that paired us up in our rooms, which we thought, you know, I wonder how they're doing this, you know, and mixing and matching everybody together. But then we found out that they did it, and I'm like, oh, that's really sweet, because I had connected with Quenna right away, and there were so many things from different posts that I could relate to, you know, being a weekend without family and our husbands and just different anxieties we were having. I'm like, I saw her name and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one that I was thinking I wanted to have. So it worked out cool. And yeah, that was that was just an extra touch, I think.
Cool. Yeah, the grounds were beautiful. And there was that tree that Rotary told us about. Where was it? You put a ribbon on the tree, or I thought there was a tree on the ground that back in the back corner he was talking about. But anyhow, it's a wonderful, that location was a beautiful location. Okay, so say I'm somebody in, could maybe just join a month in or something. What would you say to somebody to get them to be like, yes, you've got to do the retreat, and it's going to help you with, I'm going to leave that open for you guys to answer. So let's start with Pollie. Why don't you go ahead?
If I had just joined Fit Mother and I'm coming on the retreat, I'm going to be able to meet all the key players of the retreat, and I'm going to meet them in person. And then that will be a great basis for starting, to go back home and really feel equipped to keep going. I don't know. I don't really have a great answer for this one.
That's okay. There's probably no good answer. Do you think that after you've gone that it helped your personal journey anymore?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking selfishly that for me, it was great timing because I had completed the first 6 months. I was into phase 4. And so this would be an enrichment for me, and also getting to meet all the key players that were along on the journey with me, and also who work for the Fit Mother Project. So, for me, that I felt really at a place of comfort with the Fit Mother Project. Like, I believed in the Fit Mother Project, just like Quenna says, like her days are based around the Fit Mother Project. So why not make a vacation based around the Fit Mother Project? It just was a great way to spend the weekend. I love it. I love the memories.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a great answer. Gosh.
I just have to say, I just wanted to say quick, I really miss you guys. It is like so great to see you. And it just makes me want to,
we still have room. We have 2 spaces. Come on.
This is a recruiting call now.
Come on. Come again.
It was tempting.
I was telling Pollie that it's kind of serendipitous, I guess, if I want to say. Like, it's like, here we are getting ready to go on the next retreat, and I'm meeting with the ladies from the first retreat, and it's like, no, this is really, it's like, I miss you guys, because I was thinking about it as, I saw it come across my calendar last week, and I'm like, okay, wow, I do miss them. It's, life gets in the way, and you start going and going and going, and the bonds that we have, and been thinking about it, I'm like, I haven't talked to many of these people because we've had so many new people coming in that it's changed. But anyhow, so yeah, I do miss you guys.
I watch the video all the time just because it's like makes me connected with everybody still, and I know we have our texting chats and stuff that we hit once in a while, but yeah, that's a priceless thing for me. Plus, if I was new into Fit Mother, I'd say, what better way to actually see the program working? Because there's other women you can tap into. The whole Fit Mother team is there, and to have one-on-one with Dr. A, that's a no-brainer. I mean, I had a great conversation with him several times, and that just makes it worth it too.
Yeah, nice to have him there all the time, where maybe some programs just don't, the person, the owner, whoever it is, maybe just shows up once, and then you're with the, but whereas Dr. A, and I've always shared this with everybody, and, this feeling I have, he cares for every single one of us. And you can see it in his demeanor, and just, you could see it that whole time on the retreat. He has a deep passion for what he's doing. And so, yeah.
It's just different. Like you can be on a Zoom session, and you can feel that you can build relationships that way, but it's strictly there. It's on camera, and you can watch the videos of Dr. A. You can be in the Facebook groups. There's nothing that compares with being in person and being able to witness how Dr. A is, or to witness how you are, Amy. To know that people, the staff, because seriously, from Jen to Craig to Spencer to Ron to, all of them, Stuart, it was amazing to me how accommodating and serving, and how just you felt like you've got these people in your pocket that at any time that you need something, they're there. But I don't know that I totally felt that until I came to the retreat. So it's kind of like where Fit Mother Project comes to life, and you get to experience this, but it's on a much deeper level. So what I felt like was that I came back knowing my journey's it's my journey, but it's not perfect. So whenever there are times that, I'm falling into a, not a pit, but, just kind of falling where I need encouragement, or I've got questions or whatever, how much more comfortable I feel to just reach out. It's kind of like now we know each other. And whether that's with another sister or it's with, the staff, that for me, I felt like I went to a whole nother level. The retreat did that for me. And so if it did it for me, it will do it for anyone, right? So for me, it was like that money that we spent for me to be able to come was so worth it, because it was an investment in myself. But I came back, I feel like a better person for doing it. So I encourage anybody and everybody to, whether it's a sacrifice, a financial sacrifice or time sacrifice or whatever, it was definitely worth it all the way around.
Great. Well, ladies, thank you, ladies, for joining today and sharing your experience. We could probably go on for hours and hours talking about it. There's so much, but you have to leave some of that to just go and experience it yourselves, So anyhow, with that, I'm just going to say thank you, ladies, for joining us. And I want to let others know that if they are interested in joining us on the next Fit Mother Retreat, that please email support@fitmotherproject.com. Also, keep an eye out in your emails and in the Facebook and Instagram communities for any posts that will be up, because there will be more. So with that, bye.